Continuing on in section 9.6, we're going to start with the take note on page 585. Here it talks about using the discriminant. And the discriminant is the part that's underneath our square root in our quadratic formula, b squared minus 4ac. And when we do our b squared minus 4ac, we are going to get some type of a number. If our number is positive, okay, it means we are going to have two solutions. If our number is 0, it means we're going to have one solution. And if our number is negative, it means we're going to have no solutions. So that's how I remember, guys. If our discriminant is positive, make a plus. It means we'll have two solutions. We'll have plus or minus the square root of our number. So we'll get two answers there. If our discriminant is 0, we will have one solution. Because when we do our plus or minus the square root of 0, guys, square root of 0 is just 0. So we have plus or minus nothing to do there. So we just get negative b over 2a. And when our discriminant is negative, we have no solutions. Because we cannot take the square root of a negative number. Can't do it. So, again, we're looking at just our number here for the b squared minus 4ac. If it's positive, we have 2. If it's 0, we have one solution. And if it's negative, we have none. So here we're still going to get it set equal to 0. Put it in standard form. 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equals 0. A is 2. B, negative 3. And C is 5. Again, our discriminant is the part that's underneath our square root, so b squared minus 4ac in our quadratic formula. Here my b value is negative 3 squared minus 4 times a is 2 and c is 5. I get 9 minus 40, negative 31. So here, because my answer is negative, I'm going to have no solutions. Okay? If I tried to plug this into my quadratic formula, guys, I'd have x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 31, that's my b squared minus 4ac, all over 2 times a. And when I tried to take the square root of negative 31, I would get a domain error. So here we have no solutions. So it's helpful to find our b squared minus 4ac all the time regardless, because we're going to have to put it into our quadratic formula anyway. And if we have no solutions, we don't have to worry about all the rest of this stuff. Okay? We just know right away it's no solution. Same thing if it's 0, we don't have to worry about the plus or minus square root part. It's just negative b over 2a. And if it was positive, we can just plug it right into our formula there the way that we have it. Now, how many solutions does this equation have? Again, get it set equal to 0 and in standard form. 6x squared minus 5x minus 7 equals 0. And in order to figure out how many solutions, we're going to check our discriminant. A is 6, B is negative 5, C is negative 7. So here I'm going to take my b squared minus 4ac, negative 5 squared minus 4 times 6 times negative 7. Uh, 168 here. And when I add that up, I get 193. So because this is positive, I'm going to have two solutions. So 2 answers. Okay, now it doesn't ask me what are my solutions, but if it did, it'd be easy enough to plug that into my quadratic formula. Negative b, or the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. And that would be my solutions. Again, it's not asking for that here, but it shows you just how easy it is to plug that into our formula. So finding our, sorry, this is a 3, 193. How easy it is to plug into our formula once we have that discriminant and how useful it is. So again, positive is 2, 0 is 1, negative, none. Quick recap here. Any quadratic equation can be solved using the quadratic formula, and the discriminant of a quadratic equation can be used to determine the number of solutions an equation has. And that's all I have for section 9.6.